Hello everyone, and welcome back to our new video after many days. So today we'll continue from where we stopped in the last video, and today's topic is 1.4 powers and root, exercise 1.11. So let's start with question 1, and from this following exercise onward I will just solve a few of the questions that are similar. So to begin with question 1, we will be solving question A, and then H, I and J. So I believe the rest of the questions you can practice by yourself. I'll just show you the way to solve them. Okay, so let us begin. Calculate. A, that's 3 square, so it's very easy. 3 times 3 is equals to 9. And then we go to H, that is 100 square, so 100 square means 100 times 100, that you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have I, that is 14 square, so 14 times 14 you'll get 196. And finally we have J, that is 68 square, so 68 times 68 is equals to 4624. Okay, now we move to question 2. Alright, question 2. From this following question, I will be solving question H. So that is H, I and J. So to begin with H, that is, it says just calculate. So 18 cube, so we'll do 18 times 18 times 18. And that is, the answer is 5832. Then we have I, that is 30 cube, so this also we can write 30 times 30 times 30, you get 27,000. Don't use a comma. And we have J, that is 200 cube, so 200 times 200 times 200, that is gonna be 8 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 zeros. Okay, that's the end of question 2. Now we move to question 3. Okay, let's begin with question 3. Question 3, I'll be solving question G, J, M, N, and O. So to begin with G, so we have x times x times x is equals to 8,000. So this one we can write as x cube is equals to 8,000. So we can take cube to the other side. Okay, so we'll have x is equals to cube root of 8,000. Now for your information, we can also write this in this particular way, that is 8,000 to the power 1 over 3. Or if it is a square, for example, if you have a square, you can write for example root x, so we can also write it as x to the power half. So this is one way of solving, that is directly placing this inside the calculator. Let me show you. That is cube root of 8,000. So the answer is going to be x equals to 20. Now we can also solve this in another way, this particular step, without using a calculator. So we have the same thing, x is equals to cube root 8,000. So what you can do is you can take 8,000 here and divide it by 2. So 8,000 divided by 2, 8,000 divided by 2, so you'll get 4,000. This one we can divide it by 2 again, so you'll get 2,000. Again, if you divide by 2, you'll get 1,000. If you divide by 2, you'll get 500. If you divide by 2, you'll get 250. If you divide it by 2, 125. So we'll get 125. Now this from here onward we can try with 5 because that's much easier. So 125 divided by 5, that is 25, and make sure to use prime numbers here. So this 25 we can divide by 5 again, so we'll get 5, and this 5. So finally when we get 1, that's the time we know yes, we can stop. So now we will count 1 2 3 4 5 6. So x is equals to, let me write it here, x is equals to 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and we have 1 2 3, and 5 we have 1 2 3. So whenever you get cube root, okay, so that means you have to pair them up in 3. If it is square, you have to pair them up in 2. So this is 3, this is another 3, and this is another 3. Okay, so then we can take x equals to, from this from 3 times 3 we'll just take ones, that is 2. Here also we'll take ones. Here this one will take 5. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 5 equals to 20. You see, we get the same answer. So I'm just showing this step once, and in the following sums maybe I will not show you the steps. So just learn from this one, and in the following answers we will just continue like that. I will not give you any description of this one since I explained. Maybe I will show you one example with the square root. Okay, so let us continue. Okay, so we continue with question J. So J is root x is equals to 9. So we can write this as when we have this root and it goes to the other side, it becomes square. So it will become 9 square. So x is equals to 81. Then we move to M. That is cube root of x equals to 2. So cube root, when the cube goes to the other side, it becomes 2 cube. So x is equals to 2 cube. That is x is equals to 8. You can, if you want, you can separate them like this depending on the question. Then we have n. It's cube root x is equals to 1. So x equals to 1 to the power 3, that is 1 cube. So x equals to 1. And then finally we have O, that is root over 3 and 64. That means cube root 64 is equals to x. So this one also you can solve according to the way I showed you in the previous question. 64 to 32 to 16 to 8, and then 2 4, and then 2 2, and then 2 1. So how many 2's we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we have 6 2's. That means 1 2 3 4 5 6, sorry, is equals to x. So since it's cube, so that means we have to take 3 3. We may have to make in pairs, not pairs, in a way we have to group them. Okay, so we have to group 3 2's together since it's cube root. So we will have 2 times 2 is equals to x. So therefore x is equals to 4. If you want, using the calculator also you can check, the answer is the same. Okay, so we move to question 4 now. Okay, so we continue with question 4, and from question 4 I'll be solving H, S and T. So H, we have root 400. So root 400, again this one also, if you want you can okay, let me show this one since it's so we can write it as 400 to the power half. Okay, or since it's square root, so we'll get 400 with 2, so it will be 200 with 2 again, we'll have 100 with 2 again, we'll have 50 with 2 again, we will have 25 with 2 with 5. Now 5 5 say 25, and 5 1. Okay, so we have 1 2 3 4. So we have 4 2's. So 1 2 3 4, and we have 2 5's, 1 and 2. So since it's a square root, so we will group them in 2's. So here, here and this. So from here we'll get 2, from here we'll get 2, and from here we'll get 5. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 5 is equals to 20. So I believe you understood. This is one way. This is without using the calculator way, and using the calculator you can easily get your answer 20. That's very easy. Okay, so let us continue with the next question. I need space, just a minute. Okay, so now we have S, that is cube root 1728. So this one I'm gonna use the calculator to solve it, and the answer is 12. And then we have T is cube root of 5832, and for that you'll get the answer as 18. So for finding this ones, you can use the same technique that I explained here. So let's move to question 5. Question 5, I'll be solving A, E, and F. So let's begin with A. That is, okay, let's see the question. Use the product. Oh, sorry. It's very important. At first, you should read the question before you start solving the answers. Okay, use the product of the prime factors given, okay, below to find the square root of each number. So you have to deal with the square root. Okay, so square root means we have to group them in twos. So the first one is 324 is equals to, if we group them, this is 1, 2, and 3. So we can write 2 times 3 times 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3, sorry, I'll just write the answer directly. So the answer is 18. Then we have E, that is 19600 is equals to, so this one also will group them in 2, 2, 2, and 2. So we will have 2 times 2 times 5 times 7, and that is equals to 140. And finally we have F. So I'm just solving the difficult questions, or the questions that are not similar. So even for this one we'll group them in 2. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 2, 2. So 2 times 2 times, we have 5 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. So our final answer is going to be 500. Okay, so that's the end of question 5. Now we move to question 6. Okay, so for question 6, I will be solving A and E only. So this is A and this is E, because these are very simple. So let's see how we solve A. So here also use the product of the prime factors to find the cube root. So the important point here to note is the cube root. That means we have to group them in 3. So A, we have 27 is equals to, so we have 3 times. So we have to group them in 3. So 3 numbers, so we'll just write them as just 3. Okay, sorry about my handwriting. And then we have 15 6 25 is equals to, we'll group them in 3s again. So this is one group, this is the second group, so we will have 2 times 5. So 5 times 5 is equals to 25. So this means when you cube root this thing, this number 15 6 25, your answer will be 25. Okay, so that's the end of question 6. If you have any doubts from this question, I will provide a link. Maybe you can ask your questions there, or maybe you can just comment on the video if you have any questions. So we will move to question 7. All right, question 7, we will solve the questions that is A. Sorry, we will solve A, I, F, J, N, G, K, O, D, and P. That means, so whichever the questions I found that are not similar, or has a different pattern or different type of questions, so I just try to solve them. So let's start with A, that is 25 root 25 square. So as you can see the bracket, so what you have to do is first you have to solve everything inside the bracket. So root 25 is 5, and square is gonna give you 25 again. And then we have D, that is cube root of 32 and to the power of 3. So this one again, there is one technique to solve this one easily. As I told you before, that 32, and if it's written by something like cube root 32, so we can write this as 1 over 3 to the power 3. Okay, so this way we can also write 32, and since the bracket usually means actually multiplication, so we can multiply 1 over 3 times 3. So when we multiply that, you can cancel the 3's, as in one is in numerator, another is in denominator, so your final answer is gonna be 32. Again, you can use a calculator, so I'm just trying to break it as much as possible. Okay, then F, we have root 9 plus 16. Okay, so this one, if you want root 9 plus root 16, you cannot write it like this. This is very much wrong. So what you have to do is you have to add these two. So 16 plus 9 is going to be 25. So root 25 is going to be 5. And then we have G, that is root 36 plus root 64. Again, these two you cannot merge them. Like, let's say if you want to write something like this, root 36 plus 64, no, cannot. Okay, so we will solve them separately. Root 36 is equals to 6, and root 64 is, I believe, 8, and 6 plus 8 is equals to 14. And then next we have is I, so root 100 minus 36. So root 100 minus 36 is gonna be root 64, I believe. Yes, root 64, and root 64 is 8. Okay, then next we have, after I, we have J. Okay, so J is root 100 minus root 36. So root 100 means it's 10, minus root 36 is 6, so 10 minus 6 is 4. Question K, that is root 25 times root 4. So root 25 is 5 times root 4 is 2, so 5 times 2 is 10. Then I have N, root 9 times root 4. So here again, root 9 is 3 and root 4 is 2, so 3 times 2 is equals to 6. And then we have O, that is root 36 divided by 4. Now if you want, you can separate them, because since it's divided, in case of division and multiplication, yes, you can write them as in this particular way as well, root 36 divided by root 4. That is totally fine. So root 36 is 6 and root 4 is 2, so if we divide them, we'll get the answer as 3. And finally, question P, we have root 36 divided by 4. So root 36 is 6, and 4 in the denominator, 4 will remain as it is. Now we will simplify them. So 2 2s are 4 and 2 3s are 6, so you will get 3 over 2. Okay, so that's the end of question 7. We will move to question 8 now. All right, question 8 also we will solve question A and question C. So let's start the question. Find the length of the edge of a cube with a volume. So as you know, if they say it's a cube means all of their sides are equal. Okay, so we can they have given us the volume. So first we can say let the edges be x. Okay, so we know the formula for a cube. Volume of a cube is equals to L times B times H. So we know the volume, that is 1000, and LBH, which are the edges, we can write them as x times x times x. So we will have 1000 is equals to x cube. So therefore x is equals to cube root of 1000. Therefore x is equals to 10, and what is the unit? Unit is centimeters. This one also you can simplify using the method that I've shown you before. So let's move to the next question, that is C. 68921 millimeter cube. So again, let the edges be x. So we have 68921 is equals to x cube. Therefore x equals to cube root of 68921, and therefore we will have x equals to 41 millimeters. So that's the end of question 8. Okay, question 9 we will be solving the following questions, that is A, H, I and J. So let's begin with A, that is okay, let's read the question first. If the symbol the star or asterisk, whichever, whatever you say, if the symbol star, let's say star, means add the square of the first number to the cube of the second number. Add the square of the first number to the cube of the second number. That means what you have to do is 2 star 3. So they said add the square of the first number, so let's square the first number. Okay, and then we place the addition sign to the cube of the second number. The second number we will do the cube. So 2 square is 4 plus 3 cube is 9. Sorry, my bad. Apologize. 3 square is 21. Sorry, 3 square is 27. So 27, so the answer is 31. Then we have H, that is 9 star 1, so that means 9 square plus 1 square. So 9 square is 81 plus 1 square is 1, so our answer is gonna be 82. Similarly for I, so 5 star 2, so 5 square plus 2 cube. So 5 square is gonna be 25 plus 2 cube is gonna be 8. So our answer is gonna be 33. And finally we have J, that is 2 star and 5. So here also 2 square plus 5 cube. So we know 2 square is 4 plus 5 cube is 125. So that together will give us 129. So that's the end of question 9. I will move to question 10. So to begin with question 10, let's start with 1. Let's just say it's evaluate. So 2 to the power 4 times 2 cube. So we know 2 to the power 4 is 16 times 8, that is going to be 128. And then B, we have 3 to the power 5. 3 to the power 5 is 243 times, if you do this, the answer will be 2. If you solve this one, the answer will be 2, so times 2, so you'll get 486. And then we have C, 3 to the power 4. 3 to the power 4 is 81, plus if you solve this one, the answer is going to be 4. So 81 plus 4, your answer is going to be 85. And then we have D, 2 to the power 4 is 16 times, if you solve this entire thing, you'll get 6. So times 6, so 16 times 6 is equals to 96. And finally I'll skip the E question. And finally we have F, that is 8 to the power 4 divided by 32 to the power 3. So in this one, since it's given it's not cube root, it's 5 root 32, something like that. So for this, to solve this one, we have to group them in 5. So just remember, when it's square just like this, we have to group them in 2. If it is cube, we have to group them in 3. And since it's 5, so we have to group them in 5. Okay, so 8 to the power 4 is gonna be 4096 divided by, when you solve this, you will get the answer as 2. So 2, and since it's cubed, so it will be 2 cube. So therefore the answer is going to be 512. So that's the end of question 10. Now we'll move to question 11. Okay, which is greater and by how much? It's very easy. So 8 to the power 0 times I'll just solve it here directly. So 8 to the power 0, we know anything to the power 0 is actually 1, times 4 square means 256. So the answer is 256. What about this one? Odd to the power times 3 to the power 4. So the answer will be 1296. But they asked which is greater and by how much. So we can finally write 2 to the power 4 times 3 to the power 4. This second term is greater by how much? By 1296 minus 256. So the answer is actually 1040. So instead of writing this, you can just directly write 2 to the power 4 times 3 to the power 4 is greater by 1040. Next, for part B, so this one, if we calculate, so we'll have 5 times, if we solve this, we'll get 5 times 3 to the power 6, that is gonna be 3645. And similarly this one, if we solve this, we'll get 3, so 3 times, or we can write 3 times 4 to the power 4, and this one's answer is gonna be 768. So we can easily say 625 times 3 to the power 6 is greater by how much? If we subtract 3645 minus 768, we'll get the answer 2877. So greater by 2877.